He realized that he would get in trouble, and claimed that it was me who broke it. I tried telling my parents that I was playing with a doll in my room, and had never touched a baseball in my life, but they didn't believe me. I was sent to bed hungry because they said, "Troublemakers don't get dinner in this house." Another time when I was 14, I really wanted to go to a boy's birthday party because I liked him, and already had permission from my parents. But my brother told them that I was already dating, and the party was just a ruse to meet up with him. He went to a different school and had no clue about who the guy was, but my parents still believed him, and grounded me. I was really depressed when that happened because I thought the entire school would hate me for not showing up despite being invited. Thankfully, they were really understanding and didn't blame me, plus I actually did start dating that guy. I began shoveling the snow off our neighbor's lawn and cutting their grass to start saving money for a phone. My parents demanded that I do the same for our lawn, and that they wouldn't pay me because it was my obligation. I listened to them because being grounded was time wasted in my bedroom, and I didn't want that. Thankfully, I was able to buy a smartphone when I turned 17. My parents never even bothered exchanging numbers with me, but at that point I had stopped caring. They would sometimes say that a girl doesn't deserve her own phone because she couldn't be trusted, which sounded ridiculous in my head. Anyway, since I bought it on my own, they couldn't really do anything about it. Now, I am a really big fan of Taylor Swift, and it's my dream to go to her concert. A while back, I saw that she was going to perform near my city, so I began saving up money to buy tickets. I had gotten a new job at a high-end fast food restaurant, and was being paid hourly, so I started taking on more shifts. However, it wasn't enough. The sale date for the tickets was coming up, and I hadn't saved up enough money. If it were the following week, I would get paid again and would have the required amount. But it wasn't, and if I couldn't buy them on day one, then I knew the tickets would double in price. My boyfriend, the same guy whose birthday party I couldn't go to, knew how much I wanted to go. He told me that he would gladly give me the remaining amount, and I was able to buy a ticket in time. I was really excited to go because he also bought one for himself, so we would be there together. But I made a horrible mistake by talking about it at home. A few days later, I came home from work to find out that my concert ticket was missing. I looked for it all around the house and even checked under my bed, but I just couldn't find it. So I decided to check the teddy bear camera that I had bought for my room, because I knew I put my ticket in a place where the camera could see it. To my absolute shock, my brother had just walked into my room and taken it like he owned it. I immediately confronted him about it, and of course he denied doing it. But I showed him the evidence on my phone. He tried snatching it from my hand so he could delete the footage, but I have faster reflexes and avoided it. I told him that he needed to give it back to me or I would report him. He just began laughing, and said, "Are you crazy? I already sold it because Taylor Swift concert tickets are selling for a fortune right now." Then he pointed to his new laptop, and said that he spent the money he got on that, so there was nothing I could do. I went running to my parents and told them about it, but they dismissed it like it was nothing. If your brother took it, then what's the problem? A laptop is much more useful than a concert ticket anyway, so technically he prevented you from wasting your money. I knew my family always treated me poorly, but never thought they would go this far. They knew how much I liked Taylor Swift and how much this meant to me, but none of them cared. Since I had it on video, I could probably report my boyfriend to the police and he would get arrested. But then my parents would just bail him out and it would end there. In my head, I had just wasted the money my boyfriend gave me, and was feeling terrible about doing that to him. So, I decided that I would make my brother pay. I waited for when he went out with his friends and sneaked into his room. I took his laptop along with the box and charger, since it was brand new. And in case he also had a camera, I did a pose with a peace sign. I immediately Googled the price and it was unsurprisingly more than my single ticket cost. I put it up on eBay and lowballed it by $150, so I got an offer on literally the same day. Within hours, his new laptop was gone and I was holding the money in my hand. I went over to my boyfriend's house and explained the situation. He said he didn't care about the money, and was just sad about me not getting the chance, so he gave me his ticket. I thanked him a lot, and also told him to keep all of the money as well as the ticket. For now, because my brother might try to take it by force. When I got home, my brother was already yelling and telling my parents that I had stolen his laptop. He had no evidence, but of course they believed him and told me to give it back immediately. I denied the accusation, but they called me a thief and threatened to call the police, so I said, "Okay, let's call the police." I actually have evidence of my brother stealing, so he's the first one that they'll arrest. How do you think that arrest will look on his upcoming college applications? My golden child brother stole my Taylor Swift tickets that I saved up for to buy a new laptop, so I sold it on eBay and kept the money. When I got home, my brother was already yelling and telling my parents that I had stolen his laptop. He had no evidence, but of course they believed him and told me to give it back immediately. I denied the accusation, but they called me a thief and threatened to call the police, so I said, "Okay, let's call the police." I actually have evidence of my brother stealing, so he's the first one that they'll arrest. How do you think that arrest will look on his upcoming college applications? Everyone got really silent, except my brother. He started calling me names, like useless, ungrateful, and even the B word. But my parents, for the first time ever, told him to be quiet. They knew that his chances of getting into a prestigious college were gone the second I reported him for theft. They just told me to go to my room, and that I was grounded for my rude behavior, but I didn't care. For the first time in my life, I had fought back against my family and actually won. I was so elated that I jumped on the bed and danced like a maniac. They saw how happy I was and decided to stop making food for me. They also refused to let me cook because apparently, the groceries and the utensils belonged to them. I had no money with me, so I went back to my boyfriend's place the next day. My parents tried to stop me, but I told them that I'm going to buy some food. When I got to my destination, I was greeted by a pleasant surprise. My boyfriend's parents welcomed me with open arms, and said that they had cooked for me because their son already knew this was going to happen. They told me that I can stay there for as long as I want, and they won't let my parents know. I'm actually turning 18 in a few months, and my boyfriend asked me to move in with him into the new apartment he's buying. I don't think anyone has ever said yes as many times as I did. His parents were watching this exchange, and I just broke down into tears. I told them that I wished I was born into their family, and that I hated mine. But they didn't judge me, and said that I was going to become their family anyway, which made me and my boyfriend blush. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go back there because I'm still a minor, but I think that my life is no longer full of torment.